All right, guys. So it looks like I'm gonna go ahead and narrate this. I was debating whether I should talk about this or not because, you know, when it comes to politics, man, it's like there are a lot of half truths, and you know, you can see a lot of things going on both sides of the fence. But I'm gonna try to get through this. I'm gonna try to narrate this because this just it's really got my blood boiling. Because I'm tired of hearing the same thing year after year after year. Let's just go ahead and play this, guys, and I'll give my thoughts on this. It's probably gonna be like a 15-minute video. Let's see what we can get out of this, guys. This is about national. Should the president bring National Guards into Chicago in particular? Uh, just before we get started, I mean, it reminds me of that Tupac song, "Dear Mr. President, bring what do you say? Bring more troops or some shit." We've been having a problem in a lot of these American cities. I don't really desire, guys, to be honest with you, to live in a sanctuary city, regardless of where it is in America. I find that when you have all these people that you bring in here, and you have this thing called sanctuary cities, which you create a lot of people who have a lot of different backgrounds, and that's all done on purpose. If you have so many people with different backgrounds coming into one huge populated center, you're gonna have a lot of disagreements, misunderstandings. But the strange thing about it, you can bring all these people in here, and they all following rules and stuff. But when it comes down to chaos, that's not a good situation. You have a lot of different people you bringing in here to sanctuary cities who don't really have high moral standards that people like myself are used to. Being the age that I'm in, I don't understand why people can't stay in their own countries, that they have fertile land, and everybody wants to come here. But I could say a lot about that, but I'm not. It's just you can't expect to bring all these people up in these sanctuary cities and expect for it to be peace. You got black folks who've been here for years, and you bringing people in here who get more rights and more rights to housing than people who've been here for 100 plus years, and that's never gonna end good. Okay, the people feel like they've been betrayed by the system, a system that they've put all their blood, sweat, and tears in. Paid the taxes, try to do the right thing, and when trying to do the right thing goes wrong, it's like, what now? And now you get to sit here and watch them bring all these people up in here that seem to just be doing way better than you are, even if they are so-called poor. They're given access to things like healthcare. Your healthcare is going up. Your taxes are going up. Your electric bill is going up. So it's a big smack in the face to see people being brought into your city that have access to more resources than you do as uh, 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 an American. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know all the ins and outs of politics, guys. I'm just telling y'all what I see. Do I think they should bring the National Guard into a place like Chicago? I mean, why not? If people are not feeling safe enough to you know, watch their children go off to school and don't even know if they're going to return home safely, you have a big problem. I don't think the police are trained in these cities, not only in Chicago, but I don't think police officers are actually trained to handle violence, to handle a situation of systematic social and economical breakdown. I think I don't know. I mean, it's just I give you guys an example. I was out one night and I seen a cop do some shit that didn't really make sense to me. It was a car with tinted windows that was speeding, so the cop decides to kind of chase the guy and corner him into a street. But the guy in a car with the tinted windows starts circling the cop, like doing spin outs, like trying to get away from the cop. And for some strange reason, I couldn't understand why this cop did this. The cop stops his car in the middle of the street and gets out of his car as if he's gonna just walk up to guy in his tinted window car who's obviously not going to stop regardless of what this cop does. And the guy just spins off and runs away from the police officer. And I told him, I was like, why did that cop just stop the car and get out of his car? That's what I didn't understand. What do you think? After the guy is running from him, he's just gonna, okay, I'm a police officer. I'm just gonna get out my car, and that's gonna make this driver. The driver just went around the cop and sped the fuck off, and then the cop just sat there looking stupid. I said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. That cop could have got ran over by that dude. That guy, whoever was in that car, he could have been on drugs. You don't know what it is, but it was just the fact that that cop got out of that car. I did not understand. I said they're not trained. They're not trained, these cops. And some of these officers, not all of them, I can just look at them and tell that they are not trained to handle any type of social economical breakdown. They're not trained for that. But let's go ahead and play. Let's go ahead and play this, guys. I'll say a few words. I can go on, but I gotta play this. Let's just play this, y'all.
And welcome back. As Illinois lawmakers demand President Trump keep the National Guard out of Chicago, the administration has requested a military base in the state support immigration operations. On the issue of federal takeovers, Washington, D.C.'s Democratic Mayor Muriel Bowser, who had criticized President Trump's use of the military in policing the district, had some unexpected praise for the heavy law enforcement yesterday.
This federal surge has had a significant increase on crime in Washington, D.C. And we greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city.
And earlier, I spoke to the Illinois Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton on the president's threats to deploy the National Guard to Illinois and about immigration. I want to start by asking about what you think about this news that the Trump administration wants to use a military base near Chicago to help with deportations. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, this is an example of Donald Trump trying to manufacture chaos here in Chicago and the state of Illinois, and it's a real example of...
First of all, the president doesn't have to manufacture chaos in Chicago because Chicago is already full of chaos.
Him trying to normalize a military presence on American soil. It is not normal. We have spoken out very clearly here.
The thing I don't understand, guys, they've been talking about this type of stuff for over a decade. They've been talking about this stuff for over a decade, guys. Is it really going to happen, or they just people just talking because they got a mouth? I don't get it.
In Illinois and in the city of Chicago, that we are not going to sit idly by to watch this wannabe dictator try to come into our state and into our city and try to just bring his chaos. He is a weak man who wants to be the center of attention, and this is just another page out of his authoritarian playbook. And we will speak out and we will fight back and we will do everything that we can here in Illinois to protect our people.
And I assume that you are referring to what the governor described in the potential of National Guard troops in a city like Chicago. I do want to ask you, though, Washington...
Guys, I want to read a comment here. It says the mayor also said that economics is down. People aren't going out. People are afraid to go out. This is what the mayor said. People do not want to bring their children by the National Guard and other military officers because there are more people looking. However, the citizens are unhappy, and she committed to actions of protest. So stop trying to flip it. All right, so we obviously see some hypocrisy going on because people are complaining, and obviously the law enforcement in a place like Chicago is not equipped and trained to handle public safety anymore. Maybe once upon a time they were, but not anymore. It says, one comment says, these politicians in Illinois are speaking for themselves, definitely not on behalf of the people who deals with this crime on a daily basis and lives in the communities affected by high crimes. Another comment, if the state and city did a better job stopping crime, gangs, etc., there will be no need for the National Guard. You should have done a better job. Once again, guys, the police are not trained to deal with social and economical breakdown in a sanctuary city. Quotation. Let's play this for 2 more minutes, guys, and then I want to switch to one where the governor is talking, because that I mean, oh my God, I couldn't believe what I was hearing out of that one. I gotta hurry up, y'all.
DC's Mayor Muriel Bowser yesterday talked about some of the crime statistics here in Washington in light of the National Guard's presence, and she acknowledged that they have actually been pretty successful in preventing crime. And I'm wondering what you make of her assessments about the National Guard presence in a city like Washington, as it could happen in a place like Chicago.
Well, what I can speak to is what is actually happening in Chicago. And here in Chicago, crime is down. There's more work to do, certainly, and there will be, just like any city or town across the country. But we are making progress. We know that the way that you address crime is by looking at the root causes, and it's not solved by having soldiers.
The crime is down. Yeah, just like the economy is doing great. One person comment, crime is down, quotation, only 6 murders and 27 shootings last weekend. Oh my God.
In the street, and that's what Donald Trump wants to do, cause chaos, and that's not going to be for the reason of promoting public safety, but it's for his own purposes. You know, if you really want to look at what people are asking for, they're asking for access to affordable health care. They're asking for
well, obviously Trump wouldn't be worried about something like this if Illinois was taking care of their business. We all know it's a lot of corruption going on in Illinois, and if papers keep coming on the desk of the president about stuff that's going on in Illinois, what other choice does he have? It's not like he just decided to, let me just put some National Guards in Chicago because I'm a dictator and that's what I just feel like doing. Obviously, there's a problem. Let's move on, y'all. I'm gonna play what the governor of Illinois said. Illinois is I'm not even gonna say it. Y'all. People already know about Illinois and its politicians. People already know. It's not a secret. All right, this is what Governor Pritzker talks about. Let's listen.
This is about the President of the United States and his complicit lackey, Stephen Miller, searching for ways to lay the groundwork to circumvent our democracy, militarize our cities, and end elections. There is no emergency in Chicago
because y'all can't handle your own business. They act like, I swear, like Trump just decided to just do this for no reason. It's obviously a problem. Obviously, Illinois has an issue, has a problem, a big problem on their hands that's not being taken care of. Obviously.
Calls for armed military intervention. There is no insurrection. There is no insurrection. Like every major American city in both blue and red states, we deal with crime in Chicago. Indeed, the violent crime rate is worse in red states and red cities. Here in Chicago,
I don't know about that. Oh my God, guys, look, I'm not gonna look up the numbers, but from what I know, when you live in a red state and people are allowed to protect themselves and own guns, there's not a lot of crime in those type of places. I don't know what graph he's looking at. You know, Chicago is a very big city. I think the 3 biggest cities in America are what? Chicago, New York, and LA, right? You are to expect, with the immigration problem and all the stuff that they're doing and the economy and people can't afford rent and stuff like that, you are to expect in a big city that there's going to be problems. So I don't know what this dude is talking about, man.
Our civilian police force and elected leaders work every day to combat crime and to improve public safety. And it's working. Not one person here today will claim we have solved all crime in Chicago. Nor can that be said of any major American metro area. But calling the military into a U.S. city to invade our streets and neighborhoods and disrupt the lives of everyday people is an extraordinary.
It's strange to me. They talk about the U.S. military as if they're from another country, as if you're bringing in Russian troops. Aren't we all supposed to be Americans? Like, it's like they're talking like these troops are coming from Russia or something.
Action, and it should require extraordinary justification. Look around you right now. Does this look like an emergency? Look at this. Go talk to the people of Chicago who are enjoying a gorgeous afternoon in this city.
Oh my
Ask the
God.
families buying ice cream on the Riverwalk. Go see the students who are at the beach after school. Talk to the workers that I just met taking the water taxi to get here. Find a family who's enjoying today sitting on their front porch and ask if they want their neighborhoods turned into a war zone by a wannabe dictator.
Once again, the neighborhoods are already a war zone. What are these people talking? Man, damn, this is like low IQ shit right here. What do you mean? The neighborhoods is already a war zone. What are you talking about, dude?
Ask if they'd like to pass through a checkpoint with unidentified officers in masks while taking their kids to school. Crime is a reality we all face. To a war zone by a wannabe down 32%
Keep calling him a wannabe dictator. It's weird.
compared to last year and nearly cut in half since 2021. Shootings are down 37% since last year and 57% from 4 years ago. Robberies are down 34% year over year. Burglaries down 21%. Motor vehicle thefts down 26%. So in case there was any doubt as to the motivation behind Trump's military occupations, take note. 13 of the top 20 cities in homicide rate have Republican.
I don't know what chart this guy is reading from. I haven't done the research myself, but it sounds really strange to me that crime would be down in an economy like this, guys. I mean, again, I'm not no politician. There's a lot of things that I don't know that's going, as far as data is concerned and analytics. But one thing I know, we're not living in a time where crime is supposed to be going down. When you bring in all these people in the city who have access once again to healthcare, housing, and all these things, and the average American citizen is just getting poorer and poorer by the day. That doesn't set up an environment for stuff going down. I don't know what this guy's talking about. It doesn't make just doesn't logically make any sense to me. Even though I haven't studied any graphs or anything.
Governors. None of these cities is Chicago. 8 of the top 10 states with the highest homicide rates are led by Republicans. None of those states is Illinois. Memphis, Tennessee, Hattiesburg, Mississippi have higher crime rates than Chicago, and yet Donald Trump is sending troops here and not there? Ask yourself why. If Donald Trump was actually serious about fighting crime in cities like Chicago, he, along with his congressional Republicans, would not be cutting over $800 million in public safety and crime prevention grants nationally, including cutting $158 million in funding to Illinois for violence prevention programs that deploy trained.
That's because the violence and prevention programs are not working. That's why he ain't funding it.
Workers to de-escalate conflict
I mean,
on our streets.
some of this stuff is common sense, man. You don't have to be a genius to figure out what's going on here.
Cutting $71 million of law enforcement grants to Illinois, direct money for police departments through programs like Project.
Well, because the programs are not working, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down because my video time about to run out, and I don't want to keep this long. But all I know is that the president wouldn't be trying to send National Guard troops into the city unless the city has some problems. The cities have problems, not just Chicago, but Chicago is a very big city, and in my opinion, I do not think that they actually the law enforcement is trained to handle the social and economic breakdown of cities like Chicago. So I think the president should absolutely bring in a National Guard since Illinois cannot handle their own business. That's my take on it.